Ripple is about to make waves in the market because it's a fanboy favorite. No, really, it is. I mean, Ripple has this huge community of the most ridiculous fanboys who will say the most nonsensical bullshit on social media, but it seems to have this cult like following of stupidity that, based on all of the rumors, all of the little things that Ripple is doing, and all the publicity it's getting and contracts it has, and networking with other companies and so on. And then just the sentiment in the market. People think this is cheap. It's $1 a share. People don't understand the market capitalization of the project and the total number of tokens. It's cheap. Dumb money is dumb. And I'm looking at this chart, and everything about it is screaming, breakout, breakout, breakout. Okay. Ripple was at $3.30 a share. Ridiculous, right? And during the crypto correction, Ripple took the biggest hit, going from a high of $3.30 down to a low of 56 cents during this little quick dip right here, but really sort of averaging out around 75 cents. So we could say from a high of maybe $3 down to 75 cents before the market turns around. Number one, there's a lot of room for recovery. In proportion, when Bitcoin was at 20,000, it came down to a low of about 6,000. Ripple came down a lot more than that proportionally when you think about the percentages. And so now the Ripple has recovered to about $1.13 on what appears to be a first move upward in what appears to be a very bullish looking squeeze pattern in an ascending triangle. We'll get into that in 1 second. Ripple looks really primed to make another wave up. So let's get in tight here. We've seen ever since that dip and quick little buyback and then plateauing in the 75 cents area, there was this initial very, very rapid buy up from 75 cents to about $1.15. Okay. Subsequent correction brought it down to 88 cents. There was another wave up, another down, and it found a little bit of a squeeze right in this area. Just to draw a little ray here, kind of like that. Okay. Higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low. Breaks out of that pattern, comes up and meets the pressure associated with the double top. Moseys around there, comes back down and hits a low associated with the fundamental trend. The initial little breakout point here. And when you're charting things, it's never perfectly exact, people. You got to keep that in mind. But broke off from it here, came down, touched it in this area, came down again. You're seeing this correlation. You can even take this all the way down to the base near it, and there's a little bit of correlation. This is not exact science, folks. But needless to say, we see this squeeze pattern, this consolidation in the trading range, and coming to the end here, all indications seem like this is primed to move up. So now the question is, if it breaks out, to what point and at what time? And what I like to do is I like to take the high of the area before the breakout and map it through the point of the, what do you call it? I guess the rebound following the initial correction after the breakout. And in my experience doing this, I've found that it has a way of correlating. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to try my damnedest right here. So I'm going to draw a vertical line to try to give you an idea what I'm doing. Assume that the price follows this little green line just for a moment. Okay, this little box right here, we could call this one trend. Okay, one little bull segment, and inside of that, you can dissect it and get smaller and smaller. It's like a freaking fractal. But at this portion, okay, this is trend one, and let's say it broke out to that point. Okay, that would be like trend two. Okay. And you know what? Let's call this trend one because it was like the bear trap. We'll call it the buyback, the stabilization, the breakout. Okay, trend one, trend two, trend three. Top of trend one through second breakout of trend two, first breakout, second, I can't call that breakout, second rebound, we'll say. Okay. And then on the third wave, when it finally gets back up to the top, it'll meet up with this fundamental line here. So it's quite interesting the way these things seem to play out, especially when you graph them in hindsight. And what's fascinating about it is this graph is just the sum total of hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of decisions to simply buy or sell, on or off. It's almost like binary language. It's either on or off, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. You know what I'm saying? And when graphed, it produces a pattern and a growth pattern that is similar to growth patterns in all forms of nature. And that is just insatiably fascinating to me. But if the sum total of a bunch of human decisions manifest a pattern of growth similar to the growth we see in life, like for example, take for example a tree. You might not know exactly how it's going to grow because you don't know what the weather is going to be like, how the soil is, but you can guesstimate. And maybe that's what it's about. It's like you're never going to be 100% sure, but you can kind of chart it. So needless to say, I think eventually we'll come to this point near the end of the trend. Now, if we break out around this point here, if you want to get into the really speculative stuff inside, you'll see something like this. And just to continue, normally happens, and I have just seen it too many times. And I'm just now getting the hang of using it to trade successfully to accumulate more shares. But same shit. I mean, these aren't exact or anything. And this is all contingent on the market being bullish and this being a new trend. The danger is always the bigger fish are the longer term trends. So take this back out to the daily. We could quite easily say that Ripple has a lot of sell pressure, maybe. Oh, no, it seems to have broken that one. It's a good indicator. I was going to say, like, if you were looking at Ripple when the price was here, it could be reasonable to be afraid of this angle of sell pressure. Like, okay, it might turn down. But we're not seeing that here. And any of these angles? No? Anything? Sometimes you're just putting lines up there and just seeing, but well, that's a really good indicator. The Ripple's got some northbound ground here. Very, very bullish looking chart for Ripple. Like it a lot. Like the ascending triangle. I like the news it's getting. I like that. Never underestimate human stupidity. Ripple's $1 a share. People think it's cheap. People will buy it. It'll go up. I'll dump my shares and make money. It'll be great.